Welcome back, everybody. We got another trade recap today. I know, please don't mind the laundry in the back. Let me just cover that up for you guys real quick. Anyway, let's continue. Listen, today I took three losses, one break even trade, and I'm down 2.5 RR for the day. That doesn't sound very bad. Like, I broke my rules as a C day, but it could have ended a lot worse. And honestly, I'm proud of myself for how I managed my mental and my psychological and everything. Even especially when I didn't feel like I wanted to accept a red day, especially since yesterday was a red day as well. I grew a lot psychologically today. I'll be honest. By doing the right thing in the midst of the fire, a lot of growth took place, and I feel like it's gonna show up within. This is gonna be a turning point in my trading for sure. So let's get right into it, guys. All right. So the Nasdaq and the Dow. Okay. So let's start on the Dow. Let's see what can we see. Price trending bullish, broke structure, and is now starting to retrace. All right. We'll examine it further later, but for now that's all I see. The Nasdaq has been trending bearish, correct? And it has mitigated this decisional demand zone. So this zone right here caused this bullish break. So this is a zone that I'm wary of. I want to see if there's a bullish break from here. So I'm gonna move down to the 15. All right, what can I see? There's a potential demand zone over here. Okay, on the what's it called? On the Nasdaq, which coincides with about the 50% of the London session range. Price came down here during the Asian session, had a little range, swept it during London, made a bullish push, was showing bullish structure. Correct. So now I'm gonna take a look at the Dow. Price came up here, swept these highs up here, mitigated this zone over here. If we go down to the lower time frame, there's definitely some level of supply right in that wick. Mitigated that, and now showed a very strong rejection from there. All right, so I'm gonna move up two candles to the 9:30 a.m. candle, and we're gonna start our analysis on the lower time frame. So we're here. Price came, reacted off of this, moved down, and once again broke structure. Just something to be wary of. So all the signs are there for shorts at the moment. There's this potential supply zone which caused the latest break. Price came up in here, mitigated this supply zone as well before causing this break. So it's all lining up. There's a reason for us to look for sells right now. The session lows are down here as well. So that's my analysis on the Dow for now. 9:30 is approaching. All right, let's go on the Nasdaq because this is where I traded actually. So the first two trades of the day. Okay, I'm gonna play it through. We have this demand zone. I'm just looking for bullish confirmation. Boom. We got this bullish break. What could I see? So that price came in here. It was a liquidity sweep. Price also came here. Broke structure bullish. And give me 1 second, guys. Okay. All right. Let's play it through a little more. Let me see what happened. Boom. Once I saw this, there were two breaks of structure. I was looking for the entry. I saw this on the Nasdaq. I saw, okay, we swept these lows. We're in a demand zone. Price might move bullish from this overall decisional zone. Okay, I'm good for buys. So I look to enter from this one right here, the extreme demand zone. So this was my first trade of the day. Like so, risk 1R to make 3R. Let's see what price does. Okay, at this point, this is important. I was trading 5 top step evaluations and their whole platform just crashed, which was driving me crazy. I was trying to log in, trying to see if my Wi-Fi was bugging. It was a disaster. It was a mess, but yeah, that definitely affected me as well a little bit. All right. Yeah, that was stressful. So let's see what happens. Price barely stops me out right there. So I took a loss right here. And what did I do? I wanted to see this guy high get taken out. Because if that high got taken out, then I could accept a re-entry from this demand zone. So the first trade was a loss. However, it could have just been an inducement just to stop me out before making the bullish move. So I didn't have the limits yet, but I'm just going to put that there. We saw a bullish break once again. I barely got stopped out by a tick. I'm like, okay, I could look to re-enter. So I was looking to enter here. I think I actually entered from right there. Yes. Looking to enter from there. And I risked about 3R right there. I mean, my target was 3R. Excuse me. Price was moving up and down, up and down. I got tapped in right there. Let's see what price does. Something I noticed right before my entry. Price formed these equal lows and then swept it from the low base, sweep. And I was looking for a bullish continuation. However, price did not give me what I wanted to see. I took 2 losses. These are both quality losses, and on an ideal day where I'm on my A game and I'm doing things right, I take these 2 losses and I walk away. However, yesterday was a losing day. I was just in a bit of a emotional, I was carrying emotional baggage. Let's be fair. Yeah, something of that nature. And honestly, I knew I should have walked away, but what was the time? It was only 10:20. I had a feeling. I'm like, "Oh, I want to stay on the charts. I want to see if I could find more setups. I don't want to miss out on a potential good setup. Even though I know 2 trades a day I'm out, that's what should have been the case, but I stayed on the charts. Mistake. I should have walked away right here. I could have avoided everything, all of this. But what did I do? For my third trade, it was somewhat acceptable. Sorry. I understood that. One second. I understood that I needed to change my instrument. If I was going to take a third trade, I was not going to take a third trade from the NASDAQ because I already took 2 losses on the NASDAQ. So if there was a quality setup on the Dow that presents, that's you know, it's enough time has passed. There's a quality setup that presents itself. I'm willing to take it. That's a part of my rules. However, mentally I was not there. So honestly, I should have just walked away. I shouldn't have even taken this trade, but I did, which is why I marked this upcoming trade as a B trade. And I'm going to explain to you what I saw. So there was this decisional demand zone right here. The last bearish candle before this massive bullish break broke these highs over here, as well as these highs over here. Okay, I wanted to see how price reacted after mitigating that zone. Let's just take a look. Price moved up, created a base, moved up again. So once I saw this, this was my grounds for entering buys. I saw there was a bullish break. Price left behind this demand zone up in here. And that was my entry. You have this. And I was targeting about 3R. Alright? Like so. Alright? So now let's see what price does. Price taps me in. Gives a nice bullish break. And at this point, once I got the 1 minute break, I had moved my stops to right below these lows right here. So I was trailing my stop. The open risk was half percent, half RR, 0.5. And let's see, let's let price play out. Price came back down and I got stopped out right there. Third loss of the day. This one was a smaller loss, but nevertheless it was a loss. And at this point, I definitely should be off the markets. But, you know, your psychology gets to you. You feel like, now I know I'm dead wrong for staying on the charts and wanting to trade. But, listen, man, it's bad. That's what happened. I stayed on the charts. I went back on the NASDAQ, correct? And what did I see? My apologies. I saw, yeah, price came back and I let it play out a little bit. So I was still on the charts. After all this price action, I let it happen. What was I reading? Demand zone, right here. Price broke structure, right here. Bullish break. Price swept liquidity, right here. And now price was starting to move bullish again. This was a very low quality trade setup. My prefrontal cortex was absolutely cooked. I was not thinking properly. I got lucky with this one because, as you're going to see, it's going to be just a break even. I got lucky. But I entered off of this 1 minute candle, which is also a ridiculous entry. I don't know why. I just got greedy. I wanted to get big RRs. Crazy. It's actually ridiculous. I was also targeting like these highs up here. So it was more than 3R. 31. Okay. We saw that. Got tapped in right there. Price gave a nice rejection. I saw a 1 minute break. And at this point, given the entry, I just moved my stops to break even. So my stops were somewhere along here. That was my stop loss. Now, I was aware that there was a potential supply zone up in here. But given the fact that we're reacting off that higher time frame demand, as I've mentioned before, I understood that price could continue higher. So I just held this trade. Price came down. Stopped me out. And at this point, I'm gonna be honest, I was enraged. I was very upset because price was just chopping around. It wasn't I felt like my overall direction was good, but I couldn't get a good entry into the market. The market just wasn't moving. During days like this, I cannot force anything on the markets. These markets are way bigger than me in terms of size, magnitude. Like I'm just a tiny fish in this massive sea. Who am I to get enraged at the markets? The markets are gonna do what the markets want to do. I have to either catch the wave, or if it's not my day, I have to be disciplined enough to walk away. I can't take it personally. The markets not aren't out to get me. I'm just a participant, and there's nothing personal in the markets. It's all cold, subjective, and brutal, just harsh reality. There's no subjectivity, favoritism, none of that. You need to follow the rules. You need to abide by the laws of the market, or else you're gonna get handled by the market. So yeah, after this, I was like struggling mentally, but this is where I'm very proud of myself because even though I was in a state where normally I would just blow everything up and just a state where you're like clearly you're just not thinking properly at all. However, I was in this state. However, I was able to close everything down. I was able to understand that if I continue, it's not gonna end well. And this is the pivotal moment. I finished this. I did some very reflective and deep journaling. I did some thinking about why I felt like this today, why I felt the need. I sat down and I really delved deep into my mind. And the answers I came with and the clarity I came out of that with and the reset I felt after that was very important, very crucial. So I'm happy, even though minus 2.5R, I broke my rules as a C day. The outcome of today was very positive because of my choices, because I chose to walk away and I chose to do the hard work and to journal and to be reflective and to do the right thing, even after making all these mistakes. That's the thing. I have a habit of once I make one mistake, I have like an effort mentality. Whatever, I'm gonna just keep going, go crazy. Who cares? That's the wrong mentality. You need to stop the bleeding. You can't just make a mistake and then feel like nothing else matters and just go YOLO mode. No, you need to stop. You need to be professional. You're gonna make mistakes. However, you need to be professional. You need to stop and you need to really analyze where you went wrong, how you can improve, and be a professional. And today I've shown that. And I've shown that I'm capable of this. And I know I will be a profitable trader because of moments like this, because of the professionalism, because of the maturity I showed today. So if you're watching this right now, I don't got nothing. I'll be honest. I don't have anything tangible. I don't got a supercar. I don't have hundreds of thousands in a personal account. However, come back to this video in the future and you're gonna see, God willing, with the will of God, with the permission of God, I'll show you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. If you made it to the end, I appreciate it. May God bless you guys. Peace.